our beautiful, beautiful family out there. Welcome, 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 welcome. We trust that you all are having a blessed morning, afternoon, or night, wherever you find yourselves this day. Welcome to the 29th, yes, I said it, 29th episode of Feminine Flame. I saw that number last night. I was like, yes, 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 and going strong. Anybody didn't think this wasn't internal? You got another thing coming. Think again. Everyone, welcome. Our host, DeAnna, is here. You saw Jessie. Everybody see Jessie, but Jessie's going to go in and out the portal. And when she comes back, I will introduce her into the show. And here she is. I told you that she'll be back. You all know. And Yesenia is here with us to welcome our most beautiful guest, Ashley Devine. She is a therapist. She is a life coach, and she's here to bring us a very special message. Everyone sees the title of this show today, showing us how we are going to build our essence to our divine, bringing out our divinity, awakening our divinity within ourselves. And as we know, that is a travel, right? And a lot of people don't know what we went through, and what we're going through is what's building us, is how we grow. And she's going to explain that to us today. Oh my goodness, but welcome Ashley Devine to Feminine Flame. It's a blessing to have you here. Beautiful, beautiful warrior of the light.
Yes, yes.
We're so happy to have you here. Please tell everyone first about yourself.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for the lovely, warm welcome. So I am by trade a therapist. So that was my very first, not my first career, my second career, but I've been doing clinical therapy for a couple of years now. And what I found was that there is just so much in the extrinsic world that can help us grow, learn, and become the best versions of ourselves. So I started going on an internal spiritual quest, right? It started when I was a teenager, but as I matured, I went deeper. And I found that you need both, right? Because in the Western world, I mean, unless we kind of live like in the mountains or maybe some suburban area, reaching spirituality, I think, is easier because we don't have the busyness, the competition, the capitalistic society that we live in, because I'm from the US, right? I'm from California. So this hustle bustle, right? Yeah. So going into spirituality, coming from a very traditional Western background, was really difficult for me. So I had to learn how to quiet my mind, not discount my life experience, not discount my education, but as a supplement too, because I find that when I combine both, the results that I help people with just was exponential. So that's kind of where I'm at with that.
Oh, I'm so happy to hear that, because many feel that you have to take away one to have the other, science and spirituality. They feel one school of thinking feels like, oh no, you have to be all in meditation, yoga, plant medicine, they bring everything in for spirituality, but they leave the science on the side. So I asked one person one day, what about your mind? Do you know what I mean? Yeah. What about how you're thinking, why you're thinking the way you're thinking? And they were like, well, I talked to doctors before and counselors, and they wanted to push that to the side. And then on the other end, you have the scientists will say, strictly science, here's medicine, here's why you're doing, read this book, and it's no spirituality. Right. So when I read about you, I was like, wow, yes, awesome. The two marrying each other, and they both exist as a part of life. It's all science. It's all science, and they both belong together. So can you tell me, I wanted to, because I was waiting to pick your brain about this. When you say finding your divinity through these two spectrums, how was your journey in doing that? I know you said you had the science portion first, but how was your journey in marrying them together? What did you find yourself having to do?
I had to, so the way I think about it is ego is spirit, right? Or no, ego is mind and Western. And I think going within and heart is more spiritual. So I couldn't disregard my Western roots, my egoic mind. So it was going deep within, and it was, I can't separate one or the other. We need both in this physical reality, right? So it's journey through the heart, going within, knowing that there's a cosmic intelligence here to help us. And, you know, some traditions say you have to cut off the ego. And I think that's a little extreme if you grew up in the West. So it's about understanding that ego serves a purpose, but not to be led by ego, right? So how I understand that is the ego is the brain, it's our survival as a human being, right? So we need fear and we need to have boundaries. And what the ego does is it separates, right? It's protection, it's me against you. And to some degree, we do need that. But if you lead by ego, it's not, I think it's a very, like a dog-eat-dog world. There's no gentleness in that, right? So my journey within was about, okay, there's my ego. Sometimes I don't like it, but sometimes I need it, right? Because it protects me to be in this 3D world. But going within, I found a deeper, richer wisdom that is, it's a cosmic intelligence is how I understand it. And when I tap into it, it gives me answers that the ego cannot give me. So that's kind of how I understand my journey.
I love how you spoke about that. I was reading about the amygdala, I think that's how you say it.
Yeah.
And that fear, it does teach us. It teaches us about the world. We live in this physical plane, right? And it teaches us how to navigate through this world, and it speaks. But I love that you said, don't allow it to lead you. You know, you don't let it have the driver's seat ever, but you can use it as a source or a resource. And I think about it when we were younger, our mother says, don't touch the stove, it's hot, right? So who touched the stove? Who did it? Yeah. Yeah, right. And then you go, oh, hot. Now I know hot. You know what I mean? And so anytime you come up to that entity again, hot, you know, of course, you're using your mind, you're using your brain, you're using that part of yourself that senses to say, danger, be careful, watch yourself, right? That's sense. It's just common sense, right? But you're not using it to actually be the driving force of everything that you do. You stay in the driver's seat. So it brings in your other part of yourself, your spirituality, you know, how to stay calm. How did you have that conversation? How did you navigate between your brain, your mind, that ego trying to tell you, no, we should do this, we should do that, and we should have this and have that, and then quiet that traffic jam down that we find in this world to be one moment and get centered and not be distracted? How did you handle that? That's hard for me. It is really hard for me.
That is a really good question. So when I think about my journey, what really led me to go inward was when I was in my 30s, I got robbed by gunpoint, right? And that just shook me to my core. And at that point in my life, my kids were young. I had a decent job. I had a good husband. I had a home, right? I worked up to that point. But everything outside me, there was still an emptiness in me, right? It's like, well, I checked off all the things that my parents said, well, if you do this, this, and this, you're going to have a happy life, right? And I checked all those things off. And I was really miserable because I didn't know who Ashley was. I didn't know the essence of Ashley, right? So my parents would always like, well, what's wrong with you? You have everything. So it's like a double shame. It's like, I have worldly things, but yet I'm not happy. And then I also got shamed for like tearing up when I would talk about, I feel alone. I you know, these things you told me, right? So that was where I was in my 30s. And then when I got robbed, that really took me inward. It's like, there's nothing outside of me that can fulfill that yearning. So it's like a journey homeward for me. And that's kind of when it really started. And I had a an experience that I had a taste of what I call divinity. That's the only thing I can say is like, I felt this love and this light and this peace come over me. And I welled up with warmth and just pure light and love. And I knew at that moment that there is a source greater than me that is nothing of this world that can bring peace and solace into my heart. So when I live in this world and my ego gets, you know, agitated and survival, I was like, okay, I'm not in a good place. I have to quiet my mind and tap back into that source. So it's a push-pull.
Wow.
I love the fact, I love what you said, because the main thing that I got at what you said is awareness too. Because sometimes when we're going through that push-pull, we don't understand that's what's going on or overstand that, you know, and then you can spiral down into something dark. But when you realize that, because you said you were crying when your parents, but then when you got robbed, it just was like, what? But then you were able to be aware of, this is what's going on. So I do see that divine. That was really amazing. I love your last name too, Ashley Devine, because you are divine, Ashley. Hello.
How are you?
You are.
You know, that's funny because yesterday, I wanted to shout out everybody that's listening right now, everybody that's watching us and being here in the conversation. Thank you for being here, because we definitely appreciate all the comments and how the flow of the conversation goes. And if you have any questions for Ashley, put it in the chat, so that we can have a conversation here, because Ashley is super open to the opportunity to have this. And yeah, that's exactly what I said, Dee. Yesterday, I was like, Angie was like, dude, Ashley's last name is Divine. Like, get it together. If you find yourself a friend that her last name is Divine, you go for it. Like, there's no, like, looking back.
Total sign.
Oh, man.
Total sign.
Right.
And I love saying that to people, letting them know how powerful and divine that they are. You know, yes, that word belongs to you. You know, because divine, the very word divine means stemming from the Almighty God, and we are. You know, and we're all we speak about on the show how all life is bound in one. You know, so yes, you are divine. You know, I used to say when I was younger, do you know where I come from? You know what I mean? So people would get the idea of how that is within us. So yeah, that's awesome that your last name is divine.
Wait, I just got a visual picture of Angela when she was little. Someone, do you know where
Yeah, I used to say, do you know who my father is? I was not talking about my earthly father. I was like,
Right.
You don't know? You're about to find out.
Right.
But that's like your marquee, you know, everyone to feel that within, because there's many out there, many who do not. They don't feel that.
Right.
You know, and Ashley, what you are teaching is so powerful and it's so beautiful. And I love how you're helping others to build that bridge within themselves, because there's many out there who are not happy because they cannot see this within themselves. But what they're going through, those blockages that they're actually having to clear out and break through, is helping to build them and let them see their divinity. You know?
Yeah.
What you're doing is awesome.
So there's hidden gifts through our struggles, right? Like when we're going through something,
Write that one down.
You're like, why me, right? Like, but you know, at some point you have to ask yourself, this is happening for me, it's not happening to me. And if you get that mindset switch, it's like, okay, what do I need to learn? What do I need to heal? Where do I go from here? Because like when I got robbed, I can sit there and be a victim and stay in my house and close my doors, right? I could have done that. But I didn't want to be a victim. I wanted to go back to work. I wanted, you know, to be a mom to my kids, right? It shook me to a place of a deeper knowing, a deeper wisdom, a deeper understanding. So when you're in a really tough situation, the mindfulness and the calm, it's like, okay, where's the silver lining here, right? It's always there. There's something, there's a gift hidden in there. And if you're going through it alone, it's really hard. So if you have friends, family, a mentor, someone that you can talk to, I think that's really important, because when I went through that, mental health was such a stigma for me that I couldn't tell people that I was having symptoms of PTSD, right? I shoved it down because the way I grew up, mental illness is just stigma, right? But everybody goes through stuff through life. You can have anxiety, you can have fear, you can have depression. It's just part of being a human. It doesn't make you crazy, stupid, or lazy or weak, right? That's kind of what my culture told me.
Yeah.
And I suffered another level of suffering in silence, right? It was a very difficult time for me, but that taste of divinity, that grace, I'm going to call it grace, shook me to the point where I was like, okay, there is something way beyond me. There's this cosmic love, cosmic intelligence. This is here to guide me. So when I get lost, I found the value of meditation. It was not easy, but when you go within and when you're quiet and when you're calm and you just kind of like shut the world out, something beautiful can arise from that. And every time, that's a great reminder, because we live in such a busy world, we forget. But there's a peace within. There's a sanctuary within. So that was my kind of awakening process.
Okay. And not many of us think about things that occur horrifically that in our lives, that it is a blessing in it. That's most 9 times out of 10, it's the victim portion we go to. But it is a blessing, and I see your journey. It's a blessing that you were able to plug in and go, wait, that you said it dropped you, it got you to your core. That was to get your attention, but then you also had to waver it all. This is what I've been looking for.
Yeah.
Because it takes you through a spin factor. I mean, it's not easy by no stretch of the imagination. when you're touched by something as this, it can take the wind out of your sails. It can. And you have to control that ego mind, look what just happened, oh my gosh, and to keep yourself from going this way, but to go this way instead. All right, let's look at this for a minute. Let's see why. We know everything occurs for a reason. And we made it through. That's also by divine design, right? This happened for a reason. Let's investigate why. It takes a lot of strength to be able to do that.
Absolutely.
It does. And then what it brings you from there. Wow. Didn't you feel great after that, Ashley?
Yes, I came out to the other side, and that's why I'm passionate about helping people. There's a lot of people who come to me, I been there, done that, been there. So I have complete empathy for many things. I have compassion. I don't have judgment, right? And just being like, I'm a container, a space to help people. Like, when people come to therapy, what they really want, I said time and time again, they just want to know that they're okay.
Yeah.
And they are. And the work I do with people is just to remind them, sweetheart, you are okay, right? You are divine. I can't use that language in the therapy setting, right?
Right.
But there is an inner beauty. I see that with everybody I work with. I see their potential. I see their light behind all this garbage of trauma and oppression and abuse that, very few people, I mean, we're human. We all have our share, right? And then it dims, like all this stuff, it just crushes them, and then they come in and I just see the light and I help them clear out that debris and bring them like their inner gold. Like I think of it as excavating for gold, right? That inner light. And depending on who I'm working with, some people really like that analogy. It's very individual, but that's my work. When I see people, I see the divinity in them and I help them reach that, right? So through clearing emotional blockages, trauma, or whatever that brings them to this place that this person is in front of me. How can I be of service? How can I help you ease your suffering, right? And I love the work I do.
I feel that.
That's amazing. That's amazing.
Because I've done my work. So some people ask me, how do you do what you do? I take it in, but I don't take it on. I give it back, right?
Oh, yeah.
I've done my work.
Ooh, hold on, Ash. Say
Did you
that
hear what
again.
she said? Say it
that
again.
I was
No,
going to
say
say
that
that again.
Okay. I take it in, but I don't take it on. And through the process of working and processing, I give it back. So there is this space between you and I. There is a connection, but there has to be a really good boundary, right? It's an energetic boundary that took me a while to come to, but that's how I do my work. Because some people, being a helper in this kind of, it's not for everybody. It takes someone who's done their work and someone who can step back and hold space of love and compassion without being sucked in, right? I'm going to use a very generic term, but we are all energy containers. And even if you don't do this work, if you notice, like there's some people who you're around and you just light up, right? They just have an aura and you're like, oh, I want to be around that person. And then there's other people that you come and you're like, whoa, that's a little dark and heavy. Let me make sure that I protect myself, right? No judgment here, but we're all containers of energy. And it's about being aware of what's mine, what's yours, and what is my purpose here? Do I need to engage? Do I need to help? Or do I well, they're on their journey, I'm going to step back, right? So it's a lot about awareness. So I'm sure you guys all know self-awareness is the key to any change, right? And that self-awareness means going in and quieting the mind and just tuning into the wisdom that we all have, right? We tap into that, and that's the source of change.
Wow. Wow.
I
Wow.
got chills.
So many nuggets. Queen, you ready to break it through? I'm gonna ring the bell and you go ahead. Oh, so many nuggets. And Ash, welcome to prime time.
Right. Okay, so let's break this down. First of all, I want everyone that's watching to affirm nothing happens to me but for me. Drop it in the chat, okay? Because we are casting spells here. We are transmuting and we are creating new synapses in your brain. So write it down. Say it with meaning. Even when you're typing it, say it. Nothing happens to me but for me. Even if you need to say it 4 or 5 times, say it and just feel it and just. And I think it was Angela said the other day when we were talking to Otis and you were talking about we were in the hospital and you say, Claire, put that energy in it when you are writing it down. Okay, first that one, bam. Ashley, you dropped all kind of gems, okay? I know I'm really excited, okay?
Thank you.
I'm excited because first, it's what Angela just said. I thank you for doing the work, because that was one of the most important things that you said. You said so many, because in your profession, sometimes it could seem like, because I've been to a couple of different therapists and I could not feel their compassion. I couldn't feel their grace. I felt like I was just someone else that they need to get out of their office because they had another appointment, or someone else that they needed to get money from. First, so I thank you, and I'm so grateful for you that you wanted to heal yourself. You wanted to uplift yourself. You wanted to know that your divinity, Ashley Devine, you wanted to know your divinity, so you could truly transmute that energy. Because when you said what you said, as far as you don't keep that energy in, you take it on, but you give it back. All what I saw was you were transmuting that energy that they gave you, and you transmuted it, and then you gave it back to them in love. They gave you pain and sickness, and you transmuted it and gave it back to them in hope. They gave you something else. I'm depressed. I want to commit suicide, Ashley. You took it in, you transmuted it, and you gave it back to them with grace and compassion. So that's what I saw too, okay? And then third thing that I wanted to break down, I know, Jesse's laughing, is you said, as far as you being a therapist, and you did say this as well too, but I want to reiterate it. We are all therapists, because like what Ashley said, all of us hold energy, and we're going along in this human game, and we are okay, let me calm down. Okay, sorry. We are energy bubbles, right? Like those games, and is people are in an actual plastic bubble, and they'll roll or they'll run, and they're running to each other. That's how we are. you know, on this planet, because we constantly rub up and run into other bubbles. Okay. So we have to protect ourselves, have boundaries. And what you said too, first know ourselves. Is this my energy that I'm feeling, or this is someone else's? And then if it is someone else's, do I want to feel that? Should I? Not even want to, but should you? And I'm speaking from my own right now. I'm learning boundaries. I'm learning boundaries and knowing that it's okay to have boundaries. That's why I said, should you feel their energy? Because a lot of times you should not, because you are divine. Remember, that's what we're talking about today. Getting your divinity back. You are divine. You don't have to just take anything from anybody.
Oh, wow.
Don't have to. No, not at all. Not at all. I'm so glad you're here today, Ashley. I'm so glad. I'm so glad.
It's been great, and I want to again. Yes. So Ash, I love my belt. I know you've seen my belt everywhere, but I love my belt. Once we reset and we help, we understand, because sometimes, like we said, we're not all on the same level of spirituality. We're all not on the same level of life. We're all not on the same level of suits and energies and, you know, all of it in between. So having you here today was amazing, because I was telling the girls, I said, yeah, we have a therapist. You guys don't know. I said, yeah, we have a therapist, and you know, our divine therapist, you know, that that not only is a regular therapist, but somebody that is very tuned in and tap in and done the work and is able to help on all the levels of what you need in your life. Because like you heard Ash, she takes your energy and she gives it back to you with love, kindness, and warmth, right? So when you get your energy back after having a conversation with Ashley, that's what you're gonna get, you know? So I'm excited to continue having the conversation. Willow, take it away. I'm gonna continue with my jam here. Yes. Tag your boo.
I have a download for you, Ashley. Do you mind if I share here?
Please.
Oh my goodness. What we're speaking about, it is a line. All right. We are putting, combining divinity and matter. All right. And this platform that you have is so powerful, and you have been chosen to do this. The download I got for you is you are to teach others. Other counselors and other young therapists who are coming up and learning, you're actually to start your own class. You're actually to be their professor, because this is what the world needs. From what DeAnna has expressed, we've all have been through that with different counselors, and they're out there, but there's others who are light workers, and they want to learn how to bring that line together. Is the marriage of that line between divinity and matter. All right. And they are doing the work, and they need you. So I got that download twice. That's why I went, ooh. And I got a second one was, you're to teach them. You're to teach them. Oh my goodness. And they're going to come to you. Students are going to come to you from this. They're going to come to you from this, and just, you know, go to those who have done it, you know, model after them how to start this, but you already have it. All you have to do is take that step forward and do it. Seriously, that's it. That when the second one came out, I said, yes, she is supposed to do that. I actually want to go, yes, that's great. Thank you. But this is the line, all right, that's bringing in divinity and matter. And many of us don't know how to put that together, but we are learning, you know, and it's all of us. We're not talking about something foreign. We're speaking about things that we didn't know, that we didn't know, that we did not know, that we didn't know.
Yes.
Right. You know, so, and once we make ourselves, inform ourselves of our own ignorance, it's not a bad thing. Once we inform ourselves that, hey, there's a lot of stuff I don't know, it actually makes you feel better to like bring on, like, give me the information. So you are helping so many people. And I just, there are no words to express my gratitude for you doing the work. We were just talking about it before the show started. Jesse had read a card, and people have to want to put this skin in the game, want to do the work, you know.
Christine read the card. Christine.
Oh, Chris, that's right. Christine read the card. And Christine Strong, which everyone knows from the Human Design, she read that card this morning. And you have to be able, have to want to do the work, you know, and you did. You said it yourself. I did the work. And now through your example, you're helping others do theirs as well, finding themselves. Wow. 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 It's amazing. I thank you for this. I thank you.
So part of that work, you know, the language of shadow, right? We all have a shadow. And that's a part of the excavating the self. I have to own my stuff. I have to see my vulnerabilities. I have to see my limitations, because we all have them as human beings. So when we can go there and start integrating and healing, right? Then we can be more of a complete being and not blaming others, not being a victim. Is like, this is my stuff. I know my limits. This is, you know, and it's also about self-worth, right? So when we integrate that shadow work, which a lot of people don't want to sit there and say, well, yeah, I'm jealous, or I hate my mother-in-law, or whatever, right? Stuff like that. But the vulnerability, as you know, is paradoxical. If you can be vulnerable, you're halfway there. You're halfway through. You know, I've come through the other side. You know, I have to speak my truth, own my trauma. And I took back my power. But it takes work. You have to have skin in the game. No one can do it for you.
That's right.
But my job is to help you become your own therapist, right? Because we all have wisdom. No one has given us the third option of, wait, do I fight? Do I flee? Do I ignore? Do I repress? I don't know how to do this. I give you a third option, a fourth, a fifth option. Well, yeah, these are some other things that you can do, because I can see, I walk through a lot of this stuff. And they're like, oh my gosh. And they're just simple little nuggets. And then it's like breakthrough, right? So break down to breakthrough. I love it. When I work with people and they have a breakthrough, it's just, I'm on a high, like for a day, like it's beautiful, because they like, oh my gosh, where were you 3 years ago in my life, Ashley? I'm like, I don't know, sweetheart. I've been working on my own stuff, you know, and now we're here together and we get to do this together. So I get to work myself out of a job. I mean, if I'm a good therapist, if I'm a good life coach, I'm going to give you the tools you need to clean up your baggage, your stuff, right? Your shit, right? We all have it. But that's the undoing, the unlearning, the conditioning, all that stuff that our family, that our society, I call it your belief system, right? We came in as pure innocent souls, right? We have past lives, but what I'm saying in this context is we were given a belief system from our family, from our culture, from our society, from our education, right? And when it no longer works, your belief system, some of it is BS. It really is. So at that point, you're like, you know what? This is something that I was taught that no longer works for me. As an adult, I get to unlearn that and create my own belief system, right? And that's a lot of what I do. That's clearing out blocks, and these like people keep on getting pulled back and doing the same things because they're not aware of their BS. So that's the excavation part.
Yes, I love it.
Or they are aware, they just don't want to face it.
True.
You're right. Some people don't want to put it down, and it becomes their narrative. Like, feel sorry for me.
Yeah.
And the funny thing is, Jessie, that you said that.
Wow. Speak into that.
When I work with someone and they're not moving, I kind of reflect that to them, and either they own it and they move on, or they back off. And some people, they get too close to their own stuff and they're not ready. And I honor that too.
Yes.
But I'm here to help heal. I'm here to help transgress and transcend, right? If you want to do the work, this is what I do. And some people, they get to that point when they're too close, they back off, and that's okay. They're not ready.
It's part of it. It's part of the journey.
It is.
They received what they were supposed to at that moment, and they come up to that roadblock, and now they have to go home and work on it. Have you had anyone come back? Have you had anyone?
Yes.
All right.
I've had some people where I kind of took them to like, well, do you want to cross that bridge? And they're like, yikes. Okay. They're not ready. And that's okay. It's scary, you know, to look into your heart, to look into your mind, to look into your shadow, to look into your vulnerabilities. And I've had some people after some period of time, they come up with the same issues and they're like, Ashley, can I work with you again? Absolutely. No judgment. It's all compassion. It's hard work. I mean, you know, the work of spirituality and the work of being and becoming your divinity, it's not for the faint-hearted.
Oh, I love that.
Not. But you come out from the other side and you
That was
are
deep.
Right?
you are
Ooh,
unstoppable because
Ashley.
you own your truth. This beautiful divine energy that we all have it.
And I have
Yeah.
that courage. Wow, you just
Yeah.
dropped it. Boom.
I'm gonna ring the bell.
Ringer girl.
I know. I'm gonna ring the bell and read what Tiffany said in the chat, because that's super important. This one is very, very, very important. This is so helpful. I find myself taking on others' energies and not always realizing that I have taken it in their energy. It mostly comes in and anxiety feels like it's mine. Sometimes it's not. Especially tricky with those that are closest to me. Yeah, that one is the hardest one. And it was the hardest one for me to do that. Those that are tapped into my energy just melts without having the ability to protect my own. So I want to break that one down a little bit, because I want to be able to help whoever's listening and whoever's watching to protect their energy field on when they are home, when they are wherever they want to, they're going. I want to be able to break that one first. And then she says, work myself out of my job. That is fire, Ash. That was fire.
That was fire.
That was
Love
fire.
it.
That was fire.
That was love.
So one of the
That was
things
love.
that we can do is on the protecting level, we can ask our guides to create protection shield for us. If we don't have that in our life, you can have somebody like what we have, and we have Master Shri Krishna, and we have the protection shield of the Himalayas with our guides and with our ancestors. So I have 4. I have my ancestor 1. I have my guides 1, because my guides wanted me to have a protection shield depending on where I travel and what dimension I go to. So because I'm a multi-dimensional healer, I'm a multi-dimensional healer. I can go, this is not the only world that I can go into. I can go into different worlds and heal energy and transmute energy. My guides needed me to have that protection. So I had to find somebody in the physical world, so like master and grandmaster. So I had to find them. I have that protection shield, the Himalayan protection shield. And then I have my own, which I created it, and I will give you mine. And then you can go and ask your guides what you can do, because this is exactly what Ashley's talking, tapping into your divine essence, so you can have these kind of things for yourself. So yeah, just breathe in the morning once you come out of sleeping and out of your meditative way. You can go directly into waking up and breathing into the floor, breathing in and really in and out. I do it 3 times, just like I do all my work. It's 3 times. I ask you 3 times, and because of the 3 energetic field, I have the 3 permissions and the 7 and 21 and all of that good stuff that people with religion have. So you create a force and you expand your breath in and out 3 times. Expand your breath, and then when your breath is nice and clean and you're clean, you sealed your bubble. You grab your bubble and you seal it. You seal it all around. And this is, so you use your bubble, you do your bubble how you want to do it. So the energy ball, and then you put it on top of you, and then you breathe and you go. This is your breath is protecting you, your guides are protecting, divinity is protecting you. You have all the protection that you need. If somebody during the day, somehow during the day, we feel antsy or something is like shake you, like what Ashley said, you walked into somebody and you can excuse yourself, go to the bathroom somewhere, go outside in a walk, you know, Mother Nature tapping into your heart, or you can just immediately tap it out, immediately. Immediately tap it out. If you're in front of people and they, like you guys see me sometimes that I tap my heart, depending on the situations that we're doing. And because you know, the intaking of the energy is painful for your body, painful for your body, your mind, and your spirit, because we're not supposed to taking it in. You know, but because we don't know, we walk into people and bam, it's like a wave and we feel it. So yeah, take it away, guys.
And maintain your breathing. Maintain your breathing when you do walk in someone's energy like that. We do things unknowingly, like sometimes when you feel something uneasy, you'll go.
Right.
All right, so this, all you want to do is maintain your regular generic breathing when you face something like, and then when, like Jesse said, when you get to take yourself away from that space, then you can, you know, take in your own energy, and then dispel it. So yeah, but sometimes we do that and take in more.
Yes.
You walk in something, you take in more, and you're like, woo, oh my goodness, yeah.
And I want to add to your intention, because when you start your day and you set your intentions, that's an energy field. You're basically saying that you're not going to accept anything other than peace or whatever you are setting, you are claiming, you are spelling. So make sure that you set your intentions. And if it does happen to where you go someplace and that energy there is stronger than you, then yes, do all these things that we're saying. Do whatever you need to do. And I like that Jesse gave multiple options, because we don't know the circumstance that you might be in either. So you do the breathing, do the things that Jesse said, and definitely set your intention. Even right then and there, if you need to, close your eyes, or with your eyes, where your eyes are is a really important gate. So I would say close your eyes if you can. So you will basically block out that external, so you can go inside yourself. So I would suggest that as well too.
Yeah. And do not, before you seal it, do not. So the reason why you don't seal it, before we say anything else, the reason why you don't seal it, if it's not your energy, you have to cleanse it. Yeah. Because you're cleansing the energy that you just intake. If you seal it before cleansing, you will seal that energy that you just intake.
Yeah.
So you're cleansing it out with your breath, right? And then you're sealing it with your own breath. Yeah.
Ashley, could you please let us know, what do you tell your clients who come to you in this matter of energy and watching their energy? What is the advice that you give to them to do on a daily basis as an exercise, or, just to make them knowledgeable of their energy space of themselves?
So basically, energy is invisible, but you can feel it, right? So often it comes as anxiety. It comes as agitation, right? So when clients come to me, I help them scan their body. Like,
I love body scanning.
When you feel this certain way, where do you feel it? Do you feel it in your chest? Do you feel it in your stomach? Do your fist clench? Do you get tense here? If you bring body awareness into it and you're like, okay, I'm getting pulled here, I'm getting triggered. So I don't speak energy language to them, right? And unless that's something they want, but body awareness. And when they feel that they're getting triggered, that is a sign to kind of step back and bring in mindfulness is what I help them do. We're going to bring in mindfulness and basic box breathing, right? There's so many different breathing exercises, but the quickest way to come back to center is just take a deep breath. And then we calm, and then the one thing that a lot of clients like, it's like, okay, and then you ask yourself, is this my stuff or is this their stuff? So is that my energy? Is that their energy? And then you draw boundaries, right? Boundaries is so important and for everybody, but we don't speak that. We don't learn that.
Yeah.
You know, for me, growing up in my culture, my family, I learned to be a people pleaser, right? So many
Oh,
codependency. That's another topic for another day, but that's huge. So, right? So when we talk about energy, a lot of it's codependency, and people don't know that they're swimming in it, right? If
oh,
you were taught to people please, if you were taught to be agreeable, if you were taught to yield, like, then you're like, I'm only okay if you're okay. If mom's not, you know, she's not angry, then I'm good. Like, I didn't know who I was. I had to look the outside. So for most of my life, I had this crippling anxiety. Am I okay? Did I do enough? Did I say too
oh,
much?
oh
Like,
my
it's just, I
goodness.
was so vigilant because I was conditioned in a way that I had to form myself. I had to find a way to make you not angry with me because I am so sensitive. I'm such an empath, right? I came into this world and this part of my journey, right? It was just heavy energy because I was taking it on everybody.
Yes.
Like,
Wow.
I don't want you to be angry with me. I wanted everybody to like me. That's just
Oh my
rubbish,
God.
right?
Oh my God.
As an adult, you're like, some adults, they wake up and like, no, not everybody needs to like me. But unless somebody wakes you up and say, hey girl, or hey guy, why do you need everybody to like you? So that's the journey within. I have to like myself. I have to
Ooh,
snap my head with self-approval,
I
right?
know that's right.
And that is the higher self. That is the consciousness.
Yes.
That is the work of the inner self. It's like, no.
Mhm.
I love myself. I accept myself, right? And that's part of the journey of becoming your divinity, owning your divinity,
Yes.
bringing that golden light back,
Praise the Lord.
right? Because you have it. We came to this world with the brilliant light. That's our divinity.
Yes.
And then we go through stuff and then it gets piled underneath, right? Some of us are born awake, most of us aren't. Whatever we go through, it's part of our work, it's part of our journey. But if you're brave enough and courageous enough to say, I got to do my inner work, you can get rid of that stuff, that emotional baggage, and you come out on your side and you own your freedom, you own your power, and you're like, that's your stuff, I'm done, right? So that's basically my work.
Wow.
We can't
So
give
many
you
nuggets.
because you drop at least 40 things in like 2 seconds. Oh my gosh.
That was
So
amazing.
yes, Ashley will come back. We
Yes,
will
you
break
are.
that down.
Yes,
It will
definitely.
We
be
will break that down.
people pleasing.
Yeah, people pleasing. We're gonna break that down
How
like down. And
Yes.
hey, I'm gonna ring the bell and you go ahead.
No, I it's like, oh, okay. When you were saying people pleasing, I put my hand up. You know, because like, and you said, oh my gosh, you said so much. Oh my God. Okay, so when you said as far as majority of your life, okay, I stopped like last year. I'm 47, so 46 years. 46 years, I was all focused on other people, on what they think. And you're so right. Once I realized that my greatest relationship is with me.
Mm-hmm.
And because I was taught that was not true, you know, that I had to get things outside of my body: love, acceptance, forgiveness, worthiness, authenticity, everything, you know, their authenticity, not mine. You know, you're authentic and I'm going to be just like you. I was a chameleon. I wore so many beautiful masks. So they was beautiful, but they weren't my own. They weren't my mask, you know, or excuse me, not a mask. They weren't me, you know. So but I'm learning now that honestly, we cannot help or inspire, encourage, uplift anyone else until we have it within ourselves. Because we are definitely an empty gas tank. We are an empty battery. It's fake. It's not, it's false, you know? So, wow, Ashley, thank you so much for your vulnerability and you sharing you with us. Wow.
Yeah.
So much.
You know, it was so deep for me because it reminded me, Ash, it reminded me so much of of me, because when I went and did my inner work and I did my shadow work and all of it and everything, that's what happened to me. I was able to peel a lot of stuff, like so much. Going back to I was 3, I would say that's the farthest I've done physically. Spiritually, it's unknown at this point, because Spirit said we're moving forward. This is it. We our soul was here before. We need to continue our quest. Let's keep moving. So that was what I heard Saturday. So I was just like, all right, say no more, boo. So that was one of the things that happened to me, that when I would speak to people, because I done my work, it is so clear, and Spirit speak to you, and like the energetic field, whatever, like the spiritual world is, the channel is so clear that sometimes you when people come in front of you, and me as shaman descendants, right, when people come to me and they want to use you for your gift, and 2, that when you put the mirror back to them, when you give them back their mirror of what they're saying to you, that hello, this is you, boo, like what you're saying to me is actually what you're actually feeling inside,
Right.
and what you're doing, and the other things that are happening in your life. So if I was getting the permission to say those things to people, and when I was saying it back to them, I was getting like, why are you even talking to me? Why are you reading my mind? And all of this, that, and the third. And I'm like, no, like, I'm not reading your mind. I'm actually just having a conversation on what you told me. So if that is the case, if you want to work with me on a deeper level, then these are the things that we can work together. And if you're willing to do that work, I'm here for you. But if you're not, then I can't at this point. So, but when you're ready, you can come back to me, and then I'll support you and guide you along the way. I will ask for your spiritual team to support you, because that's on another level. When I can ask your spiritual team to come and guide you for you, because you're not ready to see, but I can see my spiritual team help you on your journey. So once people understand that on a deeper level, it's like, oh damn. And you're right, some people are not ready, but when they are ready, you're there. They know that you're there. They know that you were the one person that did the work and is able to guide them. So for the ones that are ready, 100%. For the ones that are not ready, I'll be here when you're ready.
And I love that about you, Ashley. You're not here to be people's friend. You're here to be their best friend, to tell it like it is, and lead them to that divinity within them. Do the mining, and that's an awesome path to have. And you're very blessed. We have come to that time. I don't like this time of the show. We have come to this time where we're nearing the end of our show. And before we do our last words, Jessie, I would love to ask you if you could pull one card for us today.
Yes, I'm actually shuffling.
I knew you was. I knew it. Yes. The Spirit said, pull the card. That's all the Spirit said. Pull the card. Please pull the card for us today and see what we have for this beautiful and auspicious day. Oh my goodness.
Yeah. So we're setting the tone. So Ash, thank you I just want to say thank you so much for coming. You are an angel from another dimension, and I love you so much. I'm so excited that our spiritual team put us together on this earth so that we can continue to raise the vibration of this planet. And I am so excited that you're doing this, because this is definitely going to do big changes. And just like we were speaking earlier, and so Spirit has a way of putting everything together for us in a conversation here. This is why it's so magical. But
yes, it is.
The card that I pulled, can you guys see it?
Over a little bit.
Love it.
Because my phone is like acting up right now.
Mother, Father, God. Beautiful.
Yes. So Mother, Father, God, which is your divinity, right? your divine, your divine, your divine essence. And the angels want to remind us that we have a mother and we have a father in the spiritual realm that we can spiritually tap into. Just like we have a physical mother, just like we have a mother and a father that is there for us or is not there for us, it's okay. It is a path. It is like you said, it was supposed to be in our path. This is our path. But Spirit is asking you today to make the choice of coming out of healing, out of your healing journey, and step into your power. Because you were born to this energy, this beautiful, beautiful energy that you've been trying to heal, right? How about not trying to heal anymore? How about inviting the spiritual beings that can allow you to break force for you? This is that's coming 1 second. Break through the barriers of your shadows, right? Like open it to the of that beautiful light that in and tap. And just like Christine read this morning, and if you're not in Christine's group, we invite you to go to Christine's group because you know she's here every Thursday giving us beautiful content and meditation every single day that we go to, and Nicole. So if you're not in those groups from Feminine Flame, go right ahead and do that, because this is going to help you define where you need to be within the next whatever. This is the uplifting of this is your healing sessions are over, my dear. Break through the healing sessions, break through them, and ask your mother and your spiritual father to guide you in this process. And this is what the card is this is what the book is saying. You are connected to the power of the creation at this time. Your spiritual parents is involving you to their incredible love and filling you with divine energy and inspiration to help you move forward. This card is a message directly from the heart of God, directly from the heart of God, divine divinity, directly from it. It is telling you that you are significant and precious. You are loved beyond measure, and the creator power is so proud of you, so proud of you. You are being encouraged to have faith and know that anything is possible for you now. No matter what you may be doing or going through, you're always connected to the source of creation. Don't forget that. That is very powerful and essential to our human journey. You are connected to that power that birthed you. Whether that is your physical mom or it's the spiritual, right? Because your physical mom is also connected to that source. This card is one to the healing of the wholeness. This is the card of healing. So when this card comes in your life, you are completed. Now is time for you it's always been time for you to tap in. But if you didn't know it, it's okay. It's the right time to tap into the divine energy. Whatever stories you may have heard about God being judgmental, just wash that away. Wash it away, because the creator force that created you, source, God, divinity, whatever is you're comfortable with calling it. It is clean and powerful and amazing and will never put you, put you through things for no reason. It is for your highest good, so you can learn the lesson, so you can uplift, so you can help others, so you can collaborate with others, so that you can do it together as a force of togetherness, not separate. If you have ever felt that you aren't good enough, or you have been judged, or you haven't been in the best you have been, know that you are forgiven. You are forgiven. This is part of your process. This is part of your journey. All of it is part of your journey. Angels are with you today to help create a healing wave between you and your divine parents. I can feel that very much so. My body right now, it is so warm and fuzzy and tingling, and my voice is so warm and soothing. The blue in my throat chakra is just like, yes, that beautiful flame. I can feel it. So if I can feel it, I know you can. This card also brings the possibility of parental healing. Parent healing. Heal it. Step into it. They did the best they could. Your ancestors wanted to know that. You did the best they could. They did the best they could. Now let me guide you through that.
Wow.
Our ancestors want to be there for us today and forever. Tap into your spiritual gift. Tap into your spiritual family. Don't separate in your child, because it is combined. It is together. That is when you grow and you uplift and you make radical changes in the world. They are guiding you to see the world through the eyes of Mother, Father, God, and to remember that love can heal everything. Thank you, spiritual team, guys, ancestors, for coming through. Thank you to the forces that take on to this day and every day. Thank you so much. I love you guys.
Oh, beautiful. Oh, wow. 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 That was amazing. That was amazing. Oh my goodness. All right. So that was beautiful, Jessie. Miss Ashley, what last words would you like to impart on everyone today? And this is not the last time. This is just for now.
I thank you, everybody, for sharing your wonderful, vibrant, beautiful energies. I just want to end with saying that I am love. You are love. You are love beyond measure. And I'm here to remind you, because sometimes you forget. But you know what? You are love. You are divine.
Yes.
And if you're here, you're listening, just know that you are not alone. And he said, tap into your spiritual team, your angels, your guides. They are always with you. So I'm reminding you, don't forget. Have a blessed day.
Oh my goodness. Oh, everyone thanks you. Oh, wow. Oh my goodness. DeAnna.
What can I say?
Whatever's on your heart. Last word or words?
Oh my. I actually stomped for words today. I am. Because everything has been said that needs to be said.
Praise Allah. Praise Allah. Oh, wow. Everyone, we have been given, as always, such an amazing gift. We are seeing love in action, and it's all around us. We're seeing the divine's working for us and in us. We're witnessing it every day just by us being. Know that you are loved. Know that within your heart, the richest gems abound. They're there. And all you have to do is want them. All right? And then you can open a door and you'll find all of your treasures. And you have beautiful angels, beautiful spirits helping you right here on this plane. And you just met one today. You just met another. Let me say, you met another today. Oh, wow. I pray that everyone continues to have a blessed day full of love and light, setting out to do those intentions, those good intentions you set for yourself today. Remember, keep a smile on your face. Don't let anyone take away your smile. Remember, protect yourself all day and every day. Know that you are loved. Know that you are powerful. Know that you are strong. Know that you are divine. Yes, and everyone here got your back. Remember that. Love you all dearly, and I cannot wait for tomorrow for our new show. You all have a blessed day. We'll see you then. Love you.
Love all of you.